Hello everyone, this is Niteen Mohod and today through this video we are going to introduce ourselves with biomedical electronics and types of electrodes. Biomedical electronics is the branch of electronics which deals with the biological parameters, for reading the biological parameters from the human body so that it will be easy for the technicians and doctors to diagnose the patient. We all know so far the biomedical electronics development is concerned, doctors and scientists are constantly finding new applications and research of electronic systems for the diagnosis and treatment of various diseases. But some of the commonly used electronic machines in hospitals are like ECG or EKG, that is also called as electrocardiogram, which is used to know the electrical activity of heart. Likewise, EEG, which is electroencephalogram, which is a machine used to read the electrical activity of brain, while EMG, that is electromyogram, is a machine used to read the electrical activity of muscles. These are some of the common machines which we are going to see in details in the forthcoming videos. But these are some of the biomedical instruments you can see where from the different parts of the human body like heart, brain and muscles parameters can be read and accordingly the patient can be diagnosed. Human body muscles and nerves produces a small electrical potential difference signal due to contraction and relaxation. This contraction and relaxation is also called as actually polarization and depolarization, and that depends basically on the states of the body. Typical charges on a cell and voltage generated by a cell. Now the typical charges on cell always depend upon the state of the body, as I have already told you. We will see here through the picture. So here you can see when the body is at rest state, which is also called as polarization state, at that time the cell, we have shown this rectangle as a cell, part of the cell, and at the outer surface of the cell you can see the positive charges while the inner surface having negative charges, and the voltage which exists here, that is around minus 80 millivolt, which is very less. While at the other end, when the body is in excited state, which is also called as the depolarization state, the charges position changes exactly opposite to that of rest state, and the negative charges seen on outer surface while the positive charges comes to the inner surface, and the voltage which exists there is only around plus 20 millivolts. The charges produced on the cell are due to the difference in concentration of certain chemical ions like sodium, that is Na+, potassium, K+, and chloride, that is Cl-. As you know, there are different chemicals in the body and the ion concentration goes on changing every now and then, and due to these changes you are getting the charges produced on the cell. Bioelectrical potential. Movement of cell or cells produces a potential difference which is called impulse, having very less magnitude of the order of millivolt. Many of the voltages generated by the cells of the body are of clinical interest and which are helpful for the technicians or doctors to diagnose the patient from the result obtained through the biomedical electronic devices. These bioelectric impulses are picked up by the device which is called electrode or electrodes. Then they are amplified and recorded or displayed for a diagnosis purpose. So far the electrodes are concerned, they are basically the electrical terminals or the contact points through which voltage can be obtained from the surface of the body. Electrolyte paste or jelly, this is the solution, actually it's like a gel type solution which is put on the skin of the human body or skin of the patient, and that is for reducing the skin impedance so as to reduce the total input impedance of the system. Bioelectric potential generated is an ionic potential due to the ionic current flow. The device which converts the ionic potential into electronic potential is called electrode. So far the variety of electrodes are concerned, right? To measure the bioelectric events, there are different classification. You can say the broadly electrodes are classified in three broad categories. One, microelectrodes. When one requires to measure the bioelectric potential near or within a cell, then the microelectrodes are used. So far the skin surface electrodes are concerned, they are used to measure EEG, ECG or EMG potentials, that is electrocardiogram, electroencephalogram and electromyogram potentials from the surface of the skin. While the needle type electrodes, these are actually the invasive electrodes, means required to be penetrated in the skin. They are used to penetrate the skin to record EEG potentials from the local region of the brain or EMG potentials from the specific group of muscles. I hope the introductory part of the biomedical electronics devices, this is just the electronics, the basic part of the electronic devices, biomedical electronic devices, and the basics of electrodes along with their type is clear to you. Thank you.